Oh, hey guys, welcome back to the channel Merly on Time Watch Reviews. My name is Chris. I unbox and I review budget watches, and today I am rocking on my wrist the Pagani Design PD 1667, I believe. This is a beautiful watch that was gifted to me by my friend Fred over at the channel Reboot a Dude. Please go check him out and give him a subscribe. Now, it's been a while since I've been able to do a review. I've been extremely busy over the summer months doing a lot of overtime at my job, and I have been waiting for a while to get this review done. This is the Spinnaker Bradner. Now, Dartmouth brands, they have a bunch of brands under their umbrella: Spinnaker, Aviate, Duxo, Nubeo. They sent me 3 watches to review. I did the Nubeo. You can check that one out there. I did the Aviate Smith Spitfire Automatic. You can check that one out there. And I have been waiting to do this one for quite some time. There's a bit of an elephant in the room that you can't see, but it's there with respect to why it's taken me so long to get to this watch. But I'm here and we're at it, and that elephant is coming up. So stay tuned, find out what that elephant is on this episode of Merly on Time Watch Reviews. Thanks for tuning back in. Enjoy. Okay guys, so here is the watch. As you can see, I have it on a different band. It did come supplied with this leather band, which we'll talk about as we get to the specs of the watch a little bit later on. Here it is, and what I really love about this watch is that beautiful blue sunburst dial. You'll see a shot of that in the up close and personal montage that'll be coming up momentarily, but let's deal with the basic specifications. You have a 42 millimeter case size. You have a case thickness of 14.8 millimeters. I should say, factoring in the crown, it's 45.5 millimeters from the side of the case to the end of the 2 crowns that are on this watch. Lug width of 20 millimeters, and you have a lug to lug distance of 50 millimeters. And this is actually nice because, as you can see, there is a nice downturn on those lugs, and so although it is a larger watch, 42/15 thick, it will fit smaller wrists because of the nice angle on the downturn of those lugs. And so this is $285 US. We'll be talking about some of the other things that you get with this watch. Just during the filming, you'll see it's hacked just so that you can see the dial and see everything on the dial a little bit easier. But let's get up close and personal with this one, the video montage that I do for these reviews. And music is supplied by my pal Adrian over at Somewhere in Time Watch Reviews. So enjoy this montage of the watch. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the montage there. And so let's talk about what you are getting for the money that you spend when you buy this watch. Again, it's $285. The model of this one is the Bradner Tidal Blue. And again, it did not come on this orange strap, but I paired it with this FKM orange strap just because I think it looks absolutely fantastic on it. It did come supplied with this band. So let's talk about what you're getting for $285. You are getting a screw down crown, and you're getting a signed crown as well. You have another crown here at the, about the 2 o'clock position, and it is a bidirectional inner rotating bezel that this controls. So you're getting a really nice bidirectional rotating bezel, inner bezel on that. Some reviews that I have seen on this watch state that they felt that this should have been a screw down crown. Some said it was a little bit too loose, but I find mine, the tension is just right, I would say. When you do set the pip of the bezel, you really have to give this a good wrap in order to move it. The only thing that I would say with this inner rotating bezel, practically wise, it's a little bit tricky to use without taking off the watch. So my personal preference would be to have a regular bezel that you can turn, but this is a nice feature, although more practical option would be the outer bezel, in my opinion. You do also get a sapphire crystal covering that dial, and it does have some blue AR coating on it to age in the legibility. Because it has a screw down crown and also a screw down exhibition case back showing off the movement in the watch, you do get 180 meters of water resistance, or 600 feet, 18 atmospheres. Kind of an odd number. Most of the time it's 50, 100 meters, 200 meters. This is 180 meters. So you're getting 600 feet of water resistance. You are getting a 316L stainless steel construction. Your case, everything on this is stainless steel. And let me just zoom in on the finishing, because the finishing is actually really, really nice on this watch. You would have seen some of this on the up close and personal montage. Excuse the fingerprints there, but you have some nice vertical brushing on the side, and then some linear brushing around the bezel there, a bit of a chamfered edge underneath that, so some really nice layering on this. You do have a bit of maybe a slight bit of distortion on that domed sapphire crystal. You do have some again just brushing on the lug there, and the standard of finishing on the case is quite nice. I'll show you the side profile over here as well. And you can see that the crown, again, the screw down crown, is signed with the Spinnaker logo. Other thing that is nice, a nice added touch, is a bit of a customized rotor on the movement of the watch. And so let's talk about the movement. The movement in this watch is the Seiko NH35. It is, of course, an automatic movement. Most of you will know about this movement, obviously. 21,600 beats per hour, 24 joules hacking and hand winding, 41-hour power reserve, and the accuracy tolerance is for these movements are -20 to +40 seconds per day. And this particular movement is running very, very well at +2.6 seconds per day. I do have to address the crown because this is just something that you wouldn't know about. It's the elephant in the room that I talked about at the intro of the video. The crown on this watch is really excellent. It is buttery smooth. There is a nice distinct pop. I'll just push it in now and it will start the movement. To rethread the crown, just a slight push in and turn. Nice buttery smooth action on this. And to unthread the crown, of course, you'll hear it pop, or feel it pop. You didn't hear it. Nice distinct click to the first position. You rotate counterclockwise to change the date, as you can see. And of course, when it's in that first position, you can turn it clockwise to wind the watch. Now, the first 2 watches I received of this Tidal Blue from Dartmouth Watch Brands, the crown stripped and would not rethread. There was definitely something wrong. Not once, but twice, 2 watches in a row. Now, I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but they did send this, a 3rd one, and this one came right from Hong Kong. The first 2 came from Canton, Ohio. I don't know if that's coincidental, but both of those watches did strip. Now, I do want to say this watch is perfect. The crown action is awesome, butter smooth. It is perfect. And I do want to give a shout out to Dina over at Dartmouth Brands for, 2 watches in a row I got, and the crown just wore out on it. Now, the reason I use the crown during my reviews is I'm tracking it using the watch tracker app, the accuracy of the movement. That's how I know over 14 days this one is running only 2.6 seconds fast. So every day I would unthread the crown, wind it, screw it back in on the days that I'm not wearing the watch so that it stays, juiced up, so that I can kind of check the accuracy of the movement based on the atomic clock. But anyway, I do want to give a shout out to Dina. They were super, super supportive. No questions asked. They sent a watch right away, and they sent a replacement. So the customer service was phenomenal. And not only that, they did ask me to take a small video that I left as a private video for their team to describe the issue I had with the first couple of crowns. And they wanted to study the issue and make sure that that doesn't happen again. So kudos to them. I just had to mention that's the elephant in the room, guys. Just a couple of things I want to talk about the watch with respect to my personal preference. Again, that inner rotating bezel, I don't mind it. It's the first one that I have had with inner rotating bezel. Some people have complained about the thickness of the watch, but I think, practically speaking, it's nice for the watch to be about 15 mil thick, because when it's sitting on the wrist, you can access that rotating crown a little easier in order to turn it without taking it off, although again it is tricky. So my personal preference is not for a rotating bezel, and it would be nice to have a screw down rotating bezel here as well, just to make sure it stays locked in place. Another little minor thing is the sharpness on the bottom side of that lug. It should have been machined a little more, smoothed out a little more on the bottom part of those lugs. There is a bit of a sharp edge on there, but that's it. Other than that, this is just a fantastic watch. The Lume on this watch is also really good. So let's go to the Lume video now, and I will explain my Lume. If Lume does not last 5 minutes, the Lume isn't good. From 5 to 10 minutes, this is just my my rating using the iPhone camera that I currently have. From 5 to 10 minutes, you're getting fair Lume. It's okay. From 10 to 15 minutes, you're getting into some good Lume, and then from 15 to 20 minutes, you do have good Lume. And if it's lasting longer than 20 minutes, it's really good or great Lume. All right, so here it is. You can see at the start, quite nice. Let's get to the 5 minute mark then. So it has surpassed, terrible Lume. And now we're getting into fair or okay Lume. You can still see most of the items on the dial, the battens, the circular indices, the hour, minute, the seconds hand, pip. So now we're getting into some Lume that I would describe as okay, that's going to last a couple of hours. So we get to the 15 minute mark, you'll start to see, or the 10 to 15 minute mark, you'll start to see that a lot of the stuff starts to disappear off of the dial, but that hour and minute hand are quite clear, as well as the pip on the seconds hand. Oddly enough, you can still see some of the batons and some of the indices on the dial at that 10 minute mark. So we have good Lume here. When you get to the 15 minute and beyond, this is where it is quite good Lume, and you can see the hour and minute hand are still visible. However, the other things on the dial are disappearing, and at the 20 minute mark, you can still see the hour and the minute hand. And so, You know, the Lume is really, really good on the hour and minute hand, last several hours. I would say you have some fairly decent Lume on the indices that are on the dial. And so that is that. So they did a good job of the Lume, which is nice to see. My favorite part of this watch is this beautiful sunburst dial. You have applied indices all around, but this sunburst dial, you can see even just in my studio lighting, it goes from like a lighter blue to a darker blue to an almost black. And let's just have a look at it outside, because this is really where it shines. And here it is on wrist outside. Absolutely wonderful. And just have a look at this sunburst effect on that dial. It is simply absolutely gorgeous. The other issue that I have is with the supplied band. It's a nice enough band that it comes with, not too stiff, quite comfortable, and you do see on the buckle that you do have a nice brush finish with the Spinnaker branding on there. You do have a fixed keeper and a floating keeper. My issue with this band, and I did see some of this on the review. It's a genuine leather band, but you will see that it says here, let me just see if I can get it in the right light, water resistant leather. And one of the reviews said that they did wear it in the water, thinking that this is actually going to be water resistant leather. And I think you can see there's like a different kind of material in between the leather back and the almost suede type feeling leather on the top. But these strips of leather are glued down on top of this piece, which would be the piece that is actually water resistant. And so some users have said that when they did wear it in the water, that the top piece of leather that is glued to this water resistant stuff actually started to come off. And so listen, you're not going to be wearing leather in the water no matter what, and this is certainly not, based on some other reviews that I have seen, going to be very, very good with respect to water resistant leather. The other minor gripe that I have, and this is just personal preference, is if you just have a look here, quick release spring bars on this FKM rubber strap that I have, and this strap did not come with the quick release spring bars. I think every watch should come with quick release spring bars, especially if it's leather. It's not hard to do, makes it that much easier to swap out, and it makes it easier to not scratch or ding up your lugs when you're trying to get a Bergeron tool in between the lug and the band in order to get that spring bar off. Okay, so what can I say in conclusion about this watch? Well, I gotta talk about the elephant in the room, and I gotta once again highlight the great customer service. If I did not have a good response from Dartmouth Brands with respect to the watches that they sent me, they were quick to send me replacements. I mean, I got 2 in a row that had the exact same issue. I couldn't believe it. I'm sure they couldn't believe it. But they were kind enough to send me a third, and this one is perfect. No issues with the crowns whatsoever. And because of their customer service, I can recommend buying a watch, because if you have an issue, they are going to stand by it. Even the Hawker Hurricane that I recently reviewed, their new AVA Pilot watch, I had a wonky movement in mine, and they are going to send me a replacement for that one. If Dartmouth Brands didn't stand by their brand, I would not have affiliate links anymore. I would not recommend them to you. And so I can honestly say they'll take care of you if you do have an issue. I have just had some really crummy luck with watches that I have got from them for review. So at any rate, I'm waffling now. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Stay tuned. The very next video that you see will be my 1,500 subscriber giveaway video. In fact, this watch here is going to be up for grabs. That's right. This watch is going to be up for grabs in my 1,500 subscriber giveaway, which is going to be happening soon. So stay tuned for the details video on that. And thank you so much for all your support. Remember, whenever you leave your house, you need to have a great looking piece to wear on your wrist like this Spinnaker Bradner in Tidal blue. It's gorgeous. And remember, wherever you're going, get there on time. God bless you guys. We'll see you in the 1,500 subscriber giveaway video.